The markets may be closed, but the business stories are just heating up. I'm Robert Tan. Catch up with us on Business Brief. Here's your must-know business news this afternoon. 5 billion pesos moved in crypto. Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla alleges Zaldy Co transferred billions of pesos abroad using cryptocurrency, triggering a government probe. Empty condos, full housing crisis. Senator Erwin Tulfo wants idle condominium units in Metro Manila tapped for public housing. Budget deadline looms. Lawmakers race to finish bicameral talks on the national budget by Wednesday to avoid delays. From application to allegation, Paul family-led Potato Corner is accused of taking franchise applicants' proposed store locations. A former lawmaker is now at the center of a billion-peso trail that stretches beyond the Philippines. Resigned Bicol Representative Zaldy Co allegedly moves up to 5 billion pesos overseas using cryptocurrency while evading Philippine authorities in Portugal. Speaking on BNC's The Spokes, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla says the government is pursuing all legal options to bring Co back. That includes a possible arrest if Co leaves Portuguese territory. Co's Philippine passport is revoked following his indictment for malversation, graft, and falsification of documents. The charges stem from the multi-billion peso flood control scandal. Authorities say Co's reported Portuguese citizenship may complicate extradition efforts.
He's what we call he's a poor man with a lot of money. Because not all the money in the world that he has. What we know is that he through crypto, he transferred around 5 billion overseas.
So it's not true that crypto is secure. I mean, it's anonymous.
No,
Because you were able to
he
trace.
got it from his people. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have not all the money in the world can solve this problem.
A troubling warning sign for the country's future classrooms. A new study shows 7 in 10 Filipino students lack basic reading skills despite modest gains in mathematics over the past 5 years. The Southeast Asia Primary Learning Metrics 2024 report finds only 27% of grade 5 students meet minimum reading proficiency. Nearly half struggle to understand even simple texts. Experts point to poverty, language barriers, and limited access to textbooks as key factors. They warn these challenges are widening learning gaps among Filipino children. After years of delays, relief may finally be in sight for EDSA commuters. The long-delayed rehabilitation of EDSA begins on December 24. The Department of Public Works and Highways says it is cutting the timeline to just 8 months to limit disruption for motorists. The first phase covers Rojas Boulevard to EDSA Orense. Crews use stone mastic asphalt with 24-hour working during the holidays and nighttime construction starting January 5, 2026. DPWH and the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority says the traffic impact remains minimal. Road sections reopen daily with traffic management measures in place to guide motorists. Lawmakers push to wrap up bicameral conference committee deliberations on the 2026 national budget by Wednesday. The goal? Transmit the measure to Malacanang before the new year. Senate Finance Chair Sherwin Gatchalian and House Appropriations Chair Micaela Angela Swansing say the panel has approved budgets for most agencies with only about 11 remaining. Both chambers worked to avoid a reenacted budget and ensure the President can review and sign the spending measure on time. The bicameral panel also approves a 63.9 billion peso budget for the assistance to individuals in crisis or IX program. This is a 37 billion peso increase from the original proposal, shifting funds from unprogrammed to programmed appropriations to provide reliable aid for natural disasters, victims, fisherfolk, and educational and burial assistance. The move aims to ensure the Department of Social Welfare and Development can meet the demand for IX support without running out of funds as happened in previous years. Oil prices rise more than 1% after U.S. President Donald Trump orders a total blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela, sparking new geopolitical concerns. Brent crude climbs to $59.71 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate hits $56.04 as market factors in potential disruptions of up to 500,000 barrels per day. The blockade comes amid global supply concerns and previous lows following progress in Russia-Ukraine peace talks. Amazon is eyeing a major move into artificial intelligence. The e-commerce giant is in talks to invest in OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, in a deal that could value the AI firm at more than $500 billion. Sources say Amazon could invest around $10 billion. OpenAI is also preparing for a possible initial public offering that could value the company at up to $1 trillion. The potential deal underscores OpenAI's growing commercial partnerships after moving beyond its nonprofit beginnings. Amazon could even integrate OpenAI's technology into its shopping apps, changing how millions of customers shop online. A water consumer group is raising red flags over the Villar family's sale of PrimeWater to Lucio Company's firm. The group says it's willing to talk with the new owners, but warns the government should fund local water utilities instead of relying solely on privatization. Paulo Barcelon reports.
The Water for the People network criticized the sale of PrimeWater by the Villar family to a company owned by retail tycoon and Bilyonaryo Lucio Co. According to WPN spokesperson Leo Esperimbergo, the Villars appear to be simply evading responsibility, especially as PrimeWater remains in hot water over reports of poor service in several of its joint venture areas with local water districts.
Ang masama pa nito ngayon, yung mayroon ng responsibilidad na dapat marami na siyang pananagutan para sa ginawa niya sa joint venture. Ngayon, iiwasan lamang niya sa pagbebenta sa iba pang mga katulad niya. Ibebenta kay Lucio Co.
Just last November, San Jose del Monte City in Bulacan withdrew from its joint venture agreement with PrimeWater. According to San Jose del Monte City Mayor Rida Robes, the city's water district is now searching for a new provider, while the local government continues to assist residents who still struggle to access water supply. San Jose del Monte City is one of more than 70 water districts in the Philippines that have joint ventures with PrimeWater, and is one of the water districts that have already withdrawn from their joint venture agreement with PrimeWater. Esperimbergo adds they are open to dialogues with the Co family, but he says it would be better if responsibility for local water utilities is returned to the government.
Matayang serbisyong panlipunan po ang tubig. Di ba? 60% ng katawan ng tao ay tubig, 75% ng utak natin ay tubig. Kaya pag walang tubig, patay ka. So, dapat yun yung pangunahing pananagutan ng pamahalaan, yung kanyang tungkulin para sa kanyang mga mamamayan na tugunan yung problema ng serbisyo sa tubig.
The group also adds that the government should allocate funds for local water utilities from money recovered from those involved in the flood control scandal.
May mga percentage na ibabalik, dapat maglaan yung pamahalaan para dito. Kaya ang isang po pwede namin panawagan sa mga LGU, yung mga local government, ay di dapat tulungan nila itong mga water districts sa kanilang mga lugar para maipaayos ito.
Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says the pursuit of accountability for PrimeWater's missteps will continue. Malacanang also says the Local Water Utilities Administration or LUA will issue a memorandum to ensure that customers of water concessionaires will not be disconnected.
Ang mga lapses or liabilities ng PrimeWater as the management, kung ano po ang kanila maaaring mga kakulangan o naging liabilities ay dapat pong mapanagot. Ang mga consumers po ay hindi dapat singilin kung wala naman po talagang serbisyong na ibibigay ang PrimeWater.
PrimeWater has yet to respond to questions from Bilyonaryo News Channel regarding the sale of the company to Lucio Co's group. Mr. Co's Crystal Bridges Holding Corporation earlier said they will take over PrimeWater's operations, including water joint ventures, septage, and wastewater management services. Paulo Barcelon, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
We're taking a short break. Stick around. We've got more stories ahead. You're watching Business Brief. As Metro Manila's condo market sits on a heavy oversupply, Senator Erwin Tulfo is pushing a new idea, turning idle units into public housing. Tulfo proposes that the government use condominiums left vacant after the exit of Philippine offshore gaming operators for public housing purposes. He made the call as the 4PH housing program's budget was dramatically cut from 700 million pesos to just 35 million pesos. A move he says undermines the national housing push. According to Tulfo, he saw an oversupply of condominiums in Metro Manila, which he claims were occupied by POGO workers. Lichu Property Consultants previously said the Metro currently has 80,300 unsold homes and apartments, which could take up to 42 months to sell. With thousands of unsold units sitting idle, the proposal highlights efforts to possibly align market realities and social needs in Metro Manila's property sector. Political dynasties in the Philippines may be tougher to break than the government hoped. Critics say President Marcos Jr.'s latest anti-dynasty bill barely scratches the surface. Speaking on BNC's Business 360, Ed Francisco notes the measure only targets second-degree relatives. He says that it won't stop entrenched political families.
First, on the anti-dynasty bill, I've been in talks with other business organizations. I guess I also have to confess I'm on the board of PPCRV. So we want to ensure smooth and clean elections, and we want to educate the voters, right? But at least our reading so far, it's really weak because it's up to two levels of relations. We believe that if it were up to 4 levels, which is really what others have, then there's going to be teeth. If it's going to be passed as it is, it doesn't really mean anything. You're right, and it will be a joke. So I hope, the administration will reconsider and really make it a real anti-dynasty bill.
But there's good news for the economy. Mergers and acquisitions are surging. Recent deals include Ayala Land selling Alabang Town Center to the Madrigals and Lucio Co Group buying PrimeWater from the Villares. Francisco says these deals highlight private sector strength and liquidity even as foreign investment remains muted.
No, so I'm very happy. So there's still activity, right? One way or another, we try to be involved, right? And then, of course, there was a third large transaction also that we signed a week or two ago. This was the acquisition of the gas assets of the Lopez Group sold to Mr. Ricky Razon. So that was the other large M&A. No? So there are lots of activities, intra conglomerates, right? So in general, it's good. So despite the lackluster foreign appetite, it shows you that the private sector is there and willing to help one way or another.
Amid political uncertainty, strong mergers and acquisitions activity offers a rare bright spot. Investors are watching closely as 2026 draws near. A popular snack chain is under fire. Potato Corner is accused of taking franchisees' location ideas and then leaving them out of the deal. On social media, users say the company collects proposals from aspiring franchisees but ignores them. Applicants report submitting detailed plans or renewal requests and receiving no response. Later, a company-owned store opens in the same spot, leaving the franchisees empty-handed. One user posts, "Never again to Potato Corner," while others call the practice sketchy. They note the company benefits while applicants lose. Potato Corner has responded, saying it is conducting an internal investigation to address these concerns properly. Meanwhile, the Madrigal family is taking full control of Alabang Town Center, and they're doing it in 3 major tranches. The deal is worth 13.5 billion pesos and will be paid in 3 installments over the next 2 years. Ayala Land is selling its 50% stake as part of a capital recycling strategy, freeing funds for new projects. The move gives the Madrigal full ownership of one of Metro Manila's top lifestyle malls. Market experts say the acquisition captures the remaining value at a favorable price and allows Ayala Land to redeploy capital into higher growth ventures. The three-tranche buyout shows how structured deals help manage financial risk, typical of mergers and acquisitions in the market today. Federal land is stepping back and Crown Equities is stepping in. The T family's property arm sells its majority stake in Crown Central Properties for 73.48 million pesos. CEI now owns 52% of CCPC, taking full control of the company behind a major housing project in Binyan, Laguna. The deal includes shares from FLI and its subsidiary Horizon Land. CEI plans to consolidate its real estate assets under CCPC, streamlining its portfolio. This moves mark a key shift in local property holdings and shows how strategic consolidation is shaping the housing market. Victoria's milling business tycoon Lucio Co sees net income fall 12.6% in fiscal year 2025, even as revenues climb 11.5% from stronger power sales and exports. Higher operating costs, inventory write-downs, and a bigger working capital buildup offset revenue gains. Refined sugar sales and tolling contributions also slipped. The company stays debt-free and plans to continue modernization projects, focusing on cost control and cash generation, a strategy analysts say keeps us resilient amid market pressures. Megawide is making a big move in the housing market as it seals a 10 billion peso investment from Pag-ibig. The deal is expected to accelerate affordable housing under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s administration 4PH program. The funding will be released in 3 tranches and used to build thousands of affordable units over the next few years. Megawide Chair Edgar Saavedra calls the deal strategic, helping the company deliver homes quickly while Pag-ibig protects members' funds. Pag-ibig CEO Marilen Acosta said the partnership would enable the fund to provide homes more quickly and make them more accessible to members. The deal highlights partnerships between government and private developers to close the country's housing gap. Soft numbers in the auto industry are nothing new for luxury car brand Land Rover. And according to the company, trends play a big role in how Filipinos decide when and what to buy. Our mobility correspondent G. Baroga has the story.
The industry does go up and down. That's how Land Rover Philippines describes this year's steady car sales. Its Vice President Chris Ward says car spending is often guided by trends, shaped by what's happening around us, from the economy and politics to culture, climate, and even timing. And in the Philippines today, Ward explains that even when people can afford a premium car, it just doesn't feel the right time.
Especially if there was something going on in the press that was affecting people. There's nothing worse than then turning up in my shiny new car. It's perception. Or if I'm buying the latest handbag, or I'm investing in another property, you know. So we tend to find it's timing related, and so we do go up and down.
With the Christmas season in full swing, Land Rover is already seeing sales pick up this month and carrying through January next year. Ward adds that the brand had a good year, boosted by the launch of Octa, the high-performance version of the Defender. He, along with Ian Kitching, global product expert of Jaguar Land Rover UK, led the vehicle briefing and ride experience. Other Defender variants were also put to the test on different off-road courses, both man-made and natural. The Defender remains a solid nameplate for the brand, with a history that goes all the way back to 1948. And Land Rover says its audience is getting younger, with ownership age dropping by around 12 to 15 years.
Before, a Defender owner was mid to late 40s. Now a lot of the people that we're servicing are in their 30s, yeah. And then we have, within the family, influencers, so the younger, you know, the teenagers and those that, come on Dad, you need to go and buy a Defender.
When it comes to electric vehicles, Land Rover Philippines says it is quote, on a journey, much like the rest of the industry. Introducing new products is a challenge for them, especially with the slow development of charging infrastructure in the country. Apart from gasoline-powered vehicles, the brand already offers plug-in hybrid versions of the Defender and Range Rover in the local market. Even with delays in the route to full EV, Land Rover Philippines is gearing up for their latest Range Rover offering that is expected to arrive early next year. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
We're taking another short break. Up next, a quick look at how Philippine shares closed today. That and more when Business Brief returns. Stay with us. Is doing the bare minimum at work really laziness or a warning sign of bigger problems in management and workplace culture? What does it say about motivation, burnout, and leadership in today's workplaces? And we're joined today by Dr. John Cadiz Carandang, clinical psychologist at the Carandang Institute, to unpack why some employees just meet the minimum. Good afternoon, Dr. Carandang, and welcome to Business Brief.
Yeah, good afternoon, and nice to be here.
Now, Doc John, is bare minimum just a constructed narrative or is it an actual problem?
Actually, it's a constructed narrative. No? It's a valid thing that there are some person or employee who does only what is required for their job, no, and no more nor less. It's like if I work in a 8 to 5, then I should be in my office from 8, and then I should leave by 5. If my job description is technical work, then I'm not technical work. I will not work doing some extra mile to improve my quality of work, but just merely of what is stated in job description.
Mm-hmm. Now, why do you see some employees opt to give the minimum required work today?
Maybe we don't. There are a lot. We don't have a strong research on that, but there are some employees who have been experiencing a bare minimum. It's maybe because they have experiencing some burnout in the work, or very basic, very personal, that is low pay or lack of recognition. Maybe they've been working for many years, and then their boss or the management have never recognized his efforts. So parang, why should I continue? So it's better to do what just
the bare
do
minimum.
what is the required job. Or probably there is some issues on the management, on the part of management. Or they have they're prioritizing their mental health.
Now, having said
because
that,
they have
Doc,
that kind of work.
Doc, having said that, do you think it is unfair to label someone as lazy for meeting the minimum expectations?
I couldn't say it's unfair, but for me, it's valid. Well, it will be like they just want to believe that extra effort isn't rewarded. So parang that's very natural for us. Na if I'm not recognized here, so okay, I'm just doing my job. I think professionally, if that's not done well, then it will be probably establishing a healthy boundaries rather. So I think that's the only way that we could say that.
Now, seeing that problem, Doc John, how can management styles now contribute to employees doing just the minimum?
Probably the management could design a program for that. No, maybe they have a one-on-one mentorship or mentoring program for the employee, or prioritizing their mental health program within the organization. Like for instance, in my organization, in Carandang Institute, I make it a point that all my employees are motivated not only with their salary, but also with their professional growth, that they will be given an opportunity to learn, to grow, and they have more time for their work-life balance. I usually practice or usually remind my employees to follow the 8-8-8 rule. I mean to say they have to work in 8 hours only, then 8 hours of sleep, and 8 hours of rest and recreation. So I also encourage them that we have to observe the right to disconnect for us to be more, to not to feel any distress or feeling of parang another responsibility. So meaning to say, if your work is okay, is done, and then you're already doing everything, then you can leave. And then probably if you want to stay, then just stay. Nothing to worry about it. But it is not just merely of saying that if the person is experiencing bare minimum feelings, they are lazy. No, usually they just want to feel that they are still useful or valued, or they want to be motivated.
Doc, do you think the advent of technology, greater access to technology, has also created part of this problem?
Perhaps because of that, but I'm not used to that because I'm not so much aware about that because I have to read all of the article about it, but it could be one of the factors.
Now, Doc, looking at this problem, how can management now promote healthier work practices that can address structural problems?
Yeah, probably the management could have set clear goals and boundaries among their employees, or probably to align their pace, their workloads, and other expectations. It also gives them assurance to create a psychological safety, not only for physical safety, but also psychological safety as well. And the last but not the least, the management should have a strong support, well-being, and growth among them. So the bottom line here is we have to fix the system and performance first, no? And we also have to listen to our employees as a manager. Otherwise, magpifail yung business or the operation itself.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much, Dr. John Cadiz Carandang, clinical psychologist at the Carandang Institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Asian shares are mostly higher with strong buying in technology stocks, lifting some benchmarks despite President Donald Trump ordering a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers into Venezuela. Singapore Straits Times and Australia's ASX 200 are down, while Nikkei 225, Hang Seng, Kospi, and Shanghai Composite are higher. And in currency markets, the US dollar gains against the Japanese yen, Singapore dollar, South Korean won, and Thai baht remains flat against the Hong Kong dollar, while the Australian dollar depreciates against the greenback. In commodities, gold rises nearly 0.7%, while oil prices are mixed. And in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin falls nearly 0.9%, and Ethereum slips 0.3%. Philippine shares ended in the positive territory today. The PSEI closed nearly 0.4% higher to 60.79. Among the sectoral indices, only property was in the red, with services rising the most at 1%. Advancers outpaced decliners 97 to 88, with value turnover at nearly 6 billion pesos. The day's most active stocks were mixed, with Manila Electric Company rising the most at 2%. DigiPlus fell the most at over 4%. On currencies, the peso is currently trading at 58.65 against the US dollar, up from the previous close of 58.72. And that's a wrap for today's Business Brief. I'm Robert Tan. Join us again tomorrow for the stories that help you plan your next big, bold business moves. Only here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.